Hi everyone, I am here today to talk about a book called Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I wanted to give a quick notice on, or read about Celeste Ng from the book itself. Celeste Ng grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania and Shaker Heights, Ohio. She graduated from Harvard University and earned an MFA from the University of Michigan. Her debut novel, Everything I Never Told You, was a New York Times bestseller and winner of the Massachusetts Book Award, the Asian Pacific American Award for Literature, and the ALA's Alex Award. Little Fires Everywhere, Ng's second novel, was a New York Times bestseller, winner of the Ohioana Book Award, and named a Best Book of the Year by over 25 publications. Her books have been translated into more than 30 languages, and she was the recipient of a fellowship from the National Endowment of the Arts. She lives in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So Little Fires Everywhere is a book that came out recently, and they've made a TV show out of it as well on Hulu. So the story is about a mother and daughter who move to Shaker Heights, the town that Celeste Ng is from originally. While they're there, they befriend a wealthy family, and their lives begin to intertwine. Questions of motherhood, birthrights, race, and class all come up throughout this story, as well as cultural clashes. There's also a unique storyline of artistry and symbolism throughout the book that explains how people are feeling through the way that they explain themselves through their art. Another theme of this book is motherhood. There are four main mothers. So Mia in the book is single. She's an artist, and she's a mother of one daughter whose daughter is Pearl. They move to Shaker Heights in the start of the book. Elena Richardson is another mother. She is identified as white. She's married. She has a life of planning. She's wealthy, and she presents as knowing the right way to do things often. She's also a journalist. Linda is another mother that's focused in this story. She is also identified as white in the book. She is married. She's also wealthy. She cannot have kids. And the final mother of focus in this book is Bibi. Bibi is a mother. She's identified as Asian American. She's poor and had a baby and had to give up the baby for the inability to care for the child. She's also in this position where she wants this baby back. I want to clarify that in the book, Mia's race is not identified. The TV show that came out in Hulu identifies Mia's race as Black. In the book, that is not identified, and why that's important is because when reading this book, when things aren't clear for us, we tend to insert what we know as to be our main culture, our dominant selves, ourselves. So in that situation, if you're reading this book and you perceive Mia to be white, you will interpret this book in a specific way. If you read this book and you interpret and identify Mia as Black, you will read this book in a different way. The show itself points out this dichotomy or this difference between the book and the show. And the show focuses heavily on the racial dynamics between Mia and Elena. There's a phenomenal article about the racial dynamics in the Hulu series that I recommend reading, and I will provide that link in this video. Another theme of this book is race. Bibi is Asian. Elena has a daughter who is white and is dating a Black teen. Color blindness is brought up, that Elena and her family don't see color. Throughout the book, it's interpreted that they do in fact see color and have treated others differently based on their race. An issue with color blindness within the criminal justice system in particular is that because race is not identified in the criminal justice system as being problematic, it is difficult to address and to eradicate the systems of racism. Another theme in this book is class. Bibi is from a lower class place of poverty, and Mia is also considered to be in that state based on the class perspective and perception within the Shaker Heights location where this book is placed. Elena and Linda are considered rich. They have money and argue that they can provide a better life for the children that are within this story as well. A final theme in this book is art, which is a great theme of this part. Mia uses art as a way to express herself, and that's how she makes money also, is by creating art. She's able to create a living off of her art. Elena has a daughter named Izzy who also uses art to express herself and connect with Mia over their artistry. Finally, I want to just note that through this story about motherhood, the children are also present throughout the story and play a major role in this book as well. Pearl is Mia's daughter, who befriends Elena's entire family of children. So how the story goes is Mia and Pearl move to Shaker Heights, and they move into a small apartment that is owned by Elena Richardson. Elena attempts to befriend Mia, and offers Mia a position to work for her as a housekeeper of sorts. Through this, tensions begin to grow as Mia is working at the home and Pearl is spending time there. Elena's daughter Izzy befriends Mia, and Mia's daughter Pearl befriends Elena. They also befriend the other children, and those relationships develop and change and lead to a fiery ending. I highly recommend this book as it covers a variety of themes and topics that I haven't spent a ton of time on thinking about before and have spent much more time on now after the fact. Books like this generate in me an interest and a desire to continue learning and to continue educating myself about racism, classism, and sexism in terms of familial roles and gender roles and norms that our society puts on. I think that I also would recommend watching the Hulu series and reading the article explaining the intersectionality of race and class in the Hulu version. I hope that through that it would generate some questions, curiosity, and interest in you to continue learning and developing an understanding of how race plays a role in our lives, and class and poverty and money plays a role in our lives as well. Thanks so much for taking the time to learn about Little Fires Everywhere. Here it is one more time. All right, take care, everybody.